Good morning everyone, and thanks for joining for another Joe Locke style Tai Chi and Qigong class. We have Daisy here keeping us company. I doubt if she'll join in, but you never know. Let's get a wee bit higher. Come on, television screen. There we go. Okay, so let's take right hand in a fist please, and left hand straight, pulling back that thumb with feet together. We take our hands together and let's salute. Lovely. Okay folks, so let's just do a little bit of warming and arriving into our bodies, into the class. Let's take four corners with the hips and breathe. We tidied away all their tunnels and toys to do our class. All right, let's change direction, please. Good. All right, now I was talking with the class the other day, in fact yesterday, about the beneficial effects of shaking. You may notice that sometimes when you've gone through a bit of an ordeal or you've just had a bit of a shock that you might start to shake. And often people will take your hands or look concerned at you and go, oh, you're shaking. I like to sort of blow that concern out of the water. If we go into a shake response, it actually means that the body is healing itself from the trauma. It is literally shaking off the trauma. So shaking is a really good and healthy practice. Oh, here's someone coming in. So if you find that you are shaking, don't freak out about it, actually welcome it, because that's your body dealing with something. You may not even know what it is that you're dealing with, but you're dealing with something. Now, of course, if you're going into an epileptic fit or you're just really not sure what's going on, yes, get hold of medical attention ASAP, but please don't freak out, because freaking out won't help the process, but shaking can actually really help you to recover from whatever it is, whatever trauma, and heal. So let's do a bit of shaking. We're going to lengthen up, please, through the top of the head. Deep breath in, stretch the spine, breathing out over to one side, and give yourself a jolly good twist and shake. Now this is really good for just generally mobilizing, softening, freeing up, releasing. But that's useful for physical, emotional, energetic, you name it. Shaking is going to do you some good. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. Good, and we float up, breathe in, and over to the other side and shake. In fact, there are actually therapies devoted to the healing effects of shaking. One of them is called TRE, which is trauma release exercise, which looks on the face of it rather like yoga exercises, but they're all exercises designed to fatigue your muscles to the point that they naturally go in to a shake response. And so then at the end, you can lie down a bit like normally lying down at the end of a yoga class, but instead of just lying down and relaxing, you lie down, relax, and let your body shake. Let's lengthen up through the top of the head and relax down. Let's go on to one foot, and we're going to do a twist and a shake with the leg. Good. I like to be a little haphazard when I do this, to allow the muscles freedom to just let go and move where nature sends them. But play with it, you'll find your own way. But the idea is you're trying to introduce a shake and a wobble. Good. Shake out on the other side. a twist and a shake, and a breathe. So there is another shaking therapy, and that's called 0-point gravity therapy. And it's an alignment practice which, again, will send the system into tremors, shakes, twitches, all designed to help the system to release and unblock any blockages and allow the energy to flow freely. Shake out, please. And sometimes our bodies go into these responses spontaneously with no real obvious reason for it. And that's your body spontaneously deciding, do you know what, you need to recover from a certain thing, and it helps you do it. But of course, if we don't know what it's about, we can even go into a bit of a panic, like, why is my body doing this? I even know a therapist who had experienced 0-point gravity therapy, had gone into a massive shaky experience with it, but then years later went spontaneously into a shaky experience and panicked and thought he was having an epileptic fit. Whereas I saw the footage and I knew straight away what it was. It was classic response to a trauma release experience. So, as I say, if you're in concern, then definitely go and see a doctor. If you have to, call an ambulance, but don't panic, please. So do you see what I'm doing? I'm bouncing now. I'm just bouncing. I'm not even using my heels. I'm just bouncing. And I'm allowing that bounce to send a little ripple, a vertical shake up and down through the body. And I can enhance that by lifting off the heels and dropping. If that's uncomfortable or painful, you can do the version where it's like a gel heel, that we don't quite hit the ground. And let's let all the joints, all the muscles go nice and floppy and wobbly and just do their thing. Good, and let's lift up the arms and let the wrists bounce as well. Good, now hopefully you're feeling like you're working. Good, and let's relax down. Very good indeed. So, you may notice, or maybe you have noticed through your life, that if there was someone in your surroundings that had a somewhat nervous disposition, they may tap their fingers, or tap their toes, or sit and shake their leg, or kick the table, go into a kind of continuous self-stimulating exercise. And it can be very annoying for other people when you have someone who's constantly tapping their pen. This is what in autism circles they call stimming. It's stimulating the body because it releases endorphins and allows people to cope with stress. But I would say it's actually stimming is on the shaking scale of recovering from trauma. It is a somewhat controlled, but it may be completely unconsciously done, that someone swings their leg or shakes their leg or taps their foot or drums their fingers. But all of these things, I would say, still go into the same category of trauma release exercise. It's just your body working out the trauma. So sometimes we have to be careful to do it in a socially acceptable way and not really annoy our work colleagues or our partner or our family. But if you have that urge to kick or shake, get yourself somewhere where it's appropriate, or at least that you have a bit of peace and quiet, and have a jolly good shake. Even putting on music and shaking to the music, doing a dancey shake, I think would be perfectly useful to get that nervous energy, get that trauma stuck in there out. All right, anyway, let us move on to our Master Lock style forms. We're going to go all the way through all of the forms, and I think today we're going to do it in silence. I'm going to try not to talk. So I just want you to follow and breathe and see how you get on. And I would class this as performing Tai Chi, as actually doing Tai Chi, as opposed to learning Tai Chi, where there's conversation, explanation, all that stuff. Let's see if we can do it. If we're going to the diagonals, I'll turn my back so that we're all doing the same thing. All right, are we ready? Wuji, please. Lengthen up. Chin slightly down and back. And calming down. Keep going, please. Listening behind. Let's bring the awareness gently back to the room, slowly, gently opening your eyes. Let's lengthen all 10 fingers down. Open into horse stance. Make yourself comfortable. And we're going to run through 7 stars in rotations Qigong, Phoenix in graceful clouds of blessing on both sides, and finishing with Immortals crossing the sea. Ready? Start. Well, there you go. Good stuff. How did you get on? Come and talk to me, folks, because I don't think we've ever done that before, quite as completely silent and just performing it for ourselves. So I'd be interested to hear how you got on, if there was
Yeah,
any.
I enjoyed it. Thanks, Jane. That was interesting. I don't think I know the first part enough to do it on my own, but it all fits together nicely. Yeah,
Good.
it was relaxing and meditative.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? When you don't have to be listening to a voice. I mean, a voice guiding us is very useful. It has its
Yeah.
place. But I maybe overdo the voice side of guidance. The other day in class, I can't remember what it was I had to do, but I let the students have. Oh, yes, I was practicing pushing hands with one person who was going to Master Chen's pushing hands class and said to the
Hmm.
rest of the class, look, work on form, just try it, work together. And I rarely do that with them for any length of time. And I'm glad I did, and I'm looking forward to doing that more because it gives folks some autonomy and
Yeah.
actual self-knowledge of what you do know and what you don't know. So
Yeah,
even
and
if
to explore it themselves. Yeah, yeah,
exactly, and
yeah.
often because my classes tend to be 1 hour long, we try to
Mm-hmm.
shoehorn as much as we can in, which
Mm-hmm.
doesn't leave much. The way I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing it doesn't leave much time for that exploration, but with a teacher handy. But I definitely think it's worthy. It's a very,
Mm-hmm.
very useful technique.
Yeah.
And even
Takes the
just,
pressure off you as well, as a teacher. You know,
yeah,
it gives you a little bit more kind of calm time as well to enjoy
absolutely.
your teaching. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I love teaching, but I agree that there should be yin and yang to it. And often students have a kind of fear of stepping into the
Hmm.
self-led practice within class, but it's just a case of doing it. Once you've done it, then
Yeah,
it goes
a
away.
little bit of practice and it becomes less of a challenge. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
Or less intimidating when you feel, yes, I can do this, and it doesn't matter if I do something a bit wrong, I can change it the next time.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
as I
Okay,
say.
Eric, how did you get on?
Well, actually, I always liked the guidance, I must say, but I did find today I was quite surprised to found it very relaxing, like Alison, and almost meditative. Yes, it was really enjoyable actually.
That's wonderful. Yes, I mean, guidance is great, especially if you're familiar with the teacher, if you've worked with them for a long time. It's a comfort zone as well. It's almost like music, because even if you know what you're doing, having the guidance there to back it up just reinforces and acts as a crutch, so to speak. So it can be a very good thing, though I remember doing a workshop with Hilary, what was her name? Gerda Geddes' daughter. I think her name was Hilary. I'm scared in case I said it wrong. But anyway, a very prestigious lineage within the Western world. Gerda Geddes was one of the first females to go out to Hong Kong and bring back Tai Chi teaching it in the 1960s. So her daughter has quite the, she's she has a weight to carry in passing on the knowledge, and she's very good. I must say, I really enjoyed her practice. It's a Yang style Tai Chi class, and she uses a traditional Tai Chi, sort of pre-Cultural Revolution Tai Chi teaching style. So they use the allegorical journey. So there's a lot of storytelling. There's the guidance during the practice, but there's also endless stories about each and every step. Much as Master Locke also has written a book telling you stories about each step, that it has a story thread that you can act out. So we're not just necessarily doing movements that are good for our health, we are embodying a story which can further enhance the experience. But when I was practicing with this lady, she was guiding us through the 108 Yang style form, which I had done. That was the very first form that I learned way back when I was 19 years old. But I hadn't done it for many years, and the way she was guiding it, she was guiding every single step. Everything was vocally narrated, and I was completely lost trying to work out what she was saying because I wasn't used to being her student. I wasn't used to her terminology or her explanations, and I found that I was just getting information overload. You know, if I told you every single thing that you need to do as you do it, if you're used to that, great, and if you're not, then so much information. So I found myself zoning her out verbally, that I sort of dialed my awareness down of what she was saying because it didn't mean much to me. I just didn't understand it, I wasn't used to it. So I was focusing on her physical movements and allowed the vocal narration to become music, basically. And that worked well for me in that situation. However, if I was playing or training with her regularly, I'm sure that narration would have been absolutely golden to me, that it would have made absolute sense, and it could have really helped. So Harriet, that's her name, Harriet Devlin, pardon me, not Hillary, Harriet Devlin, yes. Names are not easy for me. I literally have a mental block. I have dyslexia, word blindness, people say, and names are just... Anyway, so yeah, I think it's great, the narration, but I think it's also worthy what we did today. As you said, Eric, you know, if you love the narration, you might think that that's what you want. But if you only ever get that, then you'd be done out of that meditative, beautiful, calming, smooth experience of performance. So remember, performance doesn't necessarily mean that you're performing for anyone else. It can be that you're performing for your own enjoyment of your Tai Chi. So we can train or we can perform, and it's good to do a bit of both. If we only ever train, it's like, you know, cooking but never getting a finished meal at the end of it. And if we only ever perform, we may miss out on our culinary skills. We might not learn actually how to make the good meal and just say, well, there it is. So anyway, great. Elaine, how did you find it?
Yeah, I found it relaxing. It was good, Jane. Different. Most of it I got. It was the last bit, but sure, I'm only new to doing this, so the more I do it, the better it'll be. And yeah, I find it was good without you narrating it, but it's a bit of both, isn't it, Jane? Because with that all the time, it would maybe seem strange.
Yeah.
And we need you to tell us things, you know, how to do it other times. So
Absolutely.
that was good, Bridget.
Good, that's great feedback, thank you. Yes, it's yin and yang, isn't it? We want to have several tools at our disposal. I agree that always narrating, basically it would disempower you, because you know you would never really know, well, do I know what I'm doing if I'm constantly being spoon-fed? But always doing it in silence, then there are missed opportunities for deeper understanding from outside perspectives. So a bit of both is definitely useful. Now, we have a few minutes left, folks, so is there anything in particular you would like to do? I'm just realising, Elaine, you said about the end bit was difficult. If you know Master Locke's work and the sequences, the 3 sequences that we're doing, it is like stepping stones all the way up to mastery level. So even within the 7 stars, it's starting from nothing, literally. We start from Wuji, and then we introduce very simple elements of our practice, and with each new step, it jumps up a rung of complexity, difficulty, towards mastery. So by the end of the 7 stars, we're already stepping out of Tai Chi and into Baguazhang, so we're opening up the internal spectrum to beyond Tai Chi, into other internal martial arts. And then with Phoenix and Immortals, it's continuing to rank up in complexity. So a beginner can
I've been
do.
practiced then.
Yeah, yeah.
When you do the recording, that's what I'll do. I'll play
Good.
that bit and try and get it right. Okay,
That's
that's good.
all any teacher can ask. So is there anything else, any questions about any particular step? No? Okay, let's do a wee warm down then. All right, up you get. But thank you for the feedback, because, you know, if it's something that we rarely do or never do, then I never know how you're going to respond. But that was nice. So just gently turn. And when it comes to warm downs, I like to keep it very simple. I do know some teachers don't bother with warm down, and that's, you know, it's personal preference. I think it's really that they consider it to be your responsibility to warm your body down, but I'm going to do it with you for my own well-being. Good. Knees, lower legs, all the way down. And just notice your body drums. With each area, it has a different sound, it has a different vibration, it has a different feeling. Good. And up to the shoulders. Good. And back to waist. Lovely. Now we're actually going to do a wee bit of hip work. I've been getting very arthritic-y in my hips recently because I've been doing rather extreme seated meditations, just long periods of time, and they've got stiff. So what we're doing, we're circling in to out and then 3 steps to get your balance. You could add a wee pat if you wanted to, just for the fun of it. An extra release and relax for the thighs. Okay, now we're going to go inwards. Inwards, inwards. I find with this that you naturally swivel on the supporting foot. Just be careful if you have a very grippy floor that it might prevent you from swiveling. And that might put extra torsion on the limb. Good, okay, and shake out. And we're going to shake. We began with the shake, we're going to finish with the shake. We're going to do an exercise called the washing machine, which I came across with Chris Burnett, a teacher based in, a Chen style teacher based in, I think he's in New York, might be Jersey. He's in America, he's really good, he's amazing. Okay, so we're going to take our hands to our center. We're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to hold our breath, and then we're going to bang about like an unbalanced washing machine. So we're kind of shaking our energy, lifting off the heels and just shaking until we can't comfortably hold our breath anymore, and then we breathe out. It's quite intense, so go gently at first and see what happens. Ready? Deep breath in and out. See what we're doing? We're just doing that bang, bang, bang thing that the washing machine does when it's got an unbalanced load. Try one more time, cross center, breathe in, and out. Very intense. It's like 100 ailments go away, but like blasting it. One more time. Ready? Deep breath. And out. Whew. Whew. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. Oi, it's quite a powerful wee exercise. So let yourself get your breath back and see how you feel. So you don't always have to do that kind of jackhammer vibration. Lightly doing your 100 ailments go away will do the trick. But it's nice to explore variations and see which ones work for you. And it's a bit like a buffet. Some will attract you one day and others another. So it's nice to have options. Let's take 3 breaths to finish. Please breathe in and out. In and out. On our last breath, deep breath in. Hold your breath, stretch your fingers to the sky, press your toes into the earth and think of sealing in all that good energy, that good vibration. Let go, breathing out. And one more time, guide your hands to cover center. Let's just hold that position for a moment and breathe. Noticing how you feel. Feeling into your belly. Feel the touch, the warmth of your hands. And let go. Good, let's relax down. Thank you so much everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a different practice. I think it's a very nice one to do from time to time, and I do hope, as Elaine said, that you'll all have a chance to use these videos. The beauty of having no verbal guidance means that each time you do it, you're not getting fed up hearing the same stuff. I think the guidance is fine, but the odd wee other stuff, you might just, oh yeah. Whereas when it's in silence, you have that space to just concentrate. And I'm sure you can hear my voice in your head if you need it, because I've guided you so many times. So you can dial it up or dial it down in your own mind as much as is needed. And you can really measure how close you are to owning it and being able to practice it on your own. So thank you so much everyone. I look forward to seeing you next time. Salute and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.